Okay.
Where are we off to today, Patti?
Today we're off to see my friend Rita Warner. She lives in River Bourgeois, and she's a storyteller. She's a caregiver. She is an amazing woman, and her passion is seaweed. So she harvests seaweed from the Atlantic Ocean here, and she processes this seaweed into various products, from lawn fertilizer to cosmetics to supplements, nutrient supplements. So we're going to go see her today in her greenhouse where she's drying some Irish moss, and we'll talk to her about all the products and things she does, and maybe she'll tell us a story or two.
Great.
Let's go.
I used to walk the beach, and I used to think, oh my God, Cape Breton's so rich, you want to hug it. But there's no money. So I'd walk the beach, and I'd walk the beach, and I'd kick rocks and say, there has to be something here. Look at that sea coming in. So then I started, looking at the seaweed and that. But I remember when I was 9, we got stuck in the sand with my father, with the truck. And I was really hungry, so I said to him, I'm hungry. I was complaining. I was like 9 years old. Well, he said, I don't know. Here, he said, just a second. And he took his pocket knife and he went to the ocean and he cut a piece of seaweed off. And he comes up, and he was very French. So he said, here, manger, eat that. And I'm like, seaweed? He said, eat that. That's good food, but don't tell your mother. The Scotch don't eat it.
Oh, okay.
She'll think I was poisoning you. But he said, that's
don't tell
what
your mother.
Yeah, that's what my people ate, he said. First I dry it. This is my drying rack. And the whole thing comes down.
Okay.
And it sits here.
Okay.
And in the summer, this is all full. I have pictures of it, all full of golden moss. And then dry it on here, and then it's real crunchy.
Then
It needs to be crunchy
it needs to be
to
crunchy.
store it. Irish moss stores for 20 years
Really?
if you put it in an airtight container.
Oh.
So it's good. It's good forever. It's one of the foods that they use during the potato famine. That's why they call it Irish moss, because it's almost a perfect food. It has the 92 essential vitamins, minerals, everything in it, off the 108 that we need. Okay, so I'm cleaning it now. So now it's basically clean. Okay, so you take it, you put it in this. So you just take that. And that gives you like 1 tablespoon of Irish moss is equal to a big bowl of spinach.
I heard a story, Rita, about
Yes?
you when you had to bring some seaweed back and the bag broke.
Oh my God.
And I just don't know if it's true, and I want to hear it
It's
from
very
you.
true. I was working on the wharf in Little Harbour down in Lordways, and it was like the end of April, but the seaweed had come in piles, and I was like, oh wow, if I could get time off work and go over. So I left work, and I had my oilskins on, and big hood, everything, but I could only find garbage bags. So I took the garbage bags and I headed out, filled them right up to the top. Not a good idea. So then I started pulling them. Well, of course, when they were running over the sand, it burnt the bottom out of them, and all of a sudden lost my whole load. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not leaving these on the beach. So I took them all, and they were long like this. It was bull kelp, and it's like 12 feet long. So I hooked them over my hood and all over me because I had my oilskins on. So I have layers and layers, as much as I could carry. So I'm kind of heavy weighted, and I'm trying to make it with my big work boots and make it back to the car, which is like about 1/8 of a mile. And I'm walking, and all of a sudden I see this guy coming down the path from the beach. And he start walking towards me, and then he start going up towards the bank. And he was way in the weeds, and I'm trying to walk along, and I'm going like this, like with a terrified look. And And he kept on going, and he kept turning around, and I kept on going, and I turned up the path. And I'd love to hear the story of what he thought he seen.
Yeah,
Because when I looked in the mirror, when I reached the car, I go, holy, it looks like some sort of sea kelp monster that had just escaped, because you couldn't see my face because it was all seaweed, and at a distance all he would see would be this walking mound of seaweed, but it had feet.
Rob, Rita really personifies the creative, resourceful Cape Bretoners that we want to keep telling people about.
She sure does. Next time we're at the beach, we're going to have to keep our eyes open for the sea kelp monster.